right?
Thank you.
Thanks for this. Sorry for that. All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Sachin Nayak, and I'm part of CFA Institute team based in Mumbai, India. And I look into candidate and membership strategy for CFA Institute for India. So, right from your journey as a prospect to a candidate and becoming a member, we look at the end-to-end experience and if there's areas where we can address and make a difference to your journey. So love to hear from you today or post this session as well. So without taking much time, let me just dive directly into the session today. So we are gathered to understand the final steps to get your charter. And my understanding is all of you are joined here today are a level 3 pass or a level 3 registered candidate, or maybe just waiting for your result, right? So thanks everyone. Thanks for joining in. And I think you're just one step away from finishing your journey, not finishing, I'll say, going on and becoming a member and a charter holder with us and continuing your journey with us. So our presentation is divided into two parts. I will cover the CFA Institute portion and Mittal will come back again and talk about society. My presentation, I will dive into four key things that's in front of your screen and I will quickly run through it, but happy to take questions as we move along or towards the end. I think mostly we'll cover it towards the end, all your questions. So let's get into it. What is it that's required to get your charter? So most of you are already finished the first block that you can see on your screen, or you must be in the final journey. You are a level 3 pass or registered to take a level 3 exam. So what separates you from the charter? It is the membership is that last and final step. So you have to apply and become a regular member of CFA Institute to become a charter holder. Now, what does it take to become a regular member? You need about 4,000 hours of qualified work experience. And this is an area where we will talk a little bit more in detail later on. And why become a member? I mean, the benefits beyond just the use of your designation. If you are pursuing CFA program, it's the use of CFA against your name. For those who might be interested in pursuing CIPM now or in future, the same criteria applies. To use CIPM designation, you need to be a member of CFA Institute. But beyond this, there are many other benefits that the membership offers. I think the foremost is the network that the membership brings to you. I briefly in the previous screen, we talked about, or rather I showed you that the network is about 190,000 plus charter holders and members worldwide. It's up in about 160 plus market. So that's the network, that's the alumni that you get connected to by becoming a member with us. Of course, when you start off, your network will be in your immediate city or in a country. But as you start growing and continuing to engage, more and more opportunity comes forth, and that's where that network really helps you in the long run. I will let Mittal talk a little bit more in detail his own network and volunteering experience. He's a long-time member with the society and institute, and I'm sure he has lots of wisdoms which he can share further. And the third benefit, I mean, there's something for everyone, whatever profession, either you're in the asset management space or in the wealth space or any of the other peripheral space around this. There are learning opportunities for you beyond the CFA program that we continue to deliver, and you can get it as per your requirements. So we send out the selection newsletter, which you can customize based on your interest area and likewise, right? So professional learning is something we highly encourage that you continue your learning with us, not just stop at becoming a charter holder or completing those 3 levels. And I'm sure a lot of you might be in your early stage of your career. So there are career resources also available. We have a lot of career tools that is built on the website. As a candidate of the program, you would have had access to it, but you can still continue to leverage as a member. So simple tools like building your resume or your elevator pitch. There are some self-help tools that's already available. Beyond the career tools page, there is the career center as well, the global as well as the India Career Center. And last but not the least, waivers. If you are planning to move to another country in the near future, there are regulators, there are universities, there are other professional qualifications which gives you a waiver for if you're a charter holder, if you're a member, or if you're cleared certain levels of the CFA program. So that list is available on the CFA Institute website. So highly encourage you to explore that if there are any plans for you to move around. And volunteering is the last piece, which I will let Mittal talk more in detail. Mittal will cover the India aspect, how his experience as a volunteer has been for CFA Society India. In addition to that, the institute also offers you a lot of opportunity to volunteer. If there are volunteer workshops that the society is running, I will highly encourage that you join one of those sessions to know more. Beyond this, there are some exclusive member benefits that we continue to build on. So I'm not sure if you've seen this, but there is an investment data alliance that we have been rapidly building up. You get access to a lot of data sets and indexes from some of the top firms, including Morningstar, Duff and Phelps, FactSet, etc. So this is available. Some of this is only exclusive to members. So that's a member exclusive benefit that we bring in. Then is the refresher readings. So if you have completed your CFA program, say about few years back, 3 or 4 years back, the program continues to get updated year on year with new readings that has been added. So as a member, you get access to all these new readings, additional readings through the refresher readings. So do make sure that you keep your knowledge updated through that. And get abstract. I'm not sure how many of you have heard about it, but it's again a member benefit that CFA Institute offers. It has about 20,000 plus business and finance books, articles, podcasts, etc., all summarized in a quick 10-minute read. So it will come to you on a weekly basis. It's a quick 10-minute summary that you can easily read and go through it. So do explore that as well once you go ahead and become a member. I mean, the benefits are much more. I can keep talking about it. There are other programs also which we have recently released, including certification program around ESG, or there's a program around decentralized finance, data science, etc. So we are continuing to build upon our programs. So as on the professional learning front, do keep checking back on the website and you learn much more out there as well. Now let me come to membership itself. I talked about a regular membership and what it takes to become a regular member. Just taking a step back, there are two types of membership that both CFA Institute and this India Society offers. It's regular and affiliate membership. Now, how do I differentiate between the two? Regular membership is for all investment professionals who are directly involved in investment decision making, and you fulfill certain criteria. That is, you have at least 4,000 hours of relevant work experience completed in a minimum of 36 months period. That's 3 years. So if you fit that, I'll encourage that you go ahead and apply as a regular member, and regular member is a requirement for your charter. For those who are CFA candidates right now or waiting for your result, you can also apply for a regular membership if you are fulfilling that criteria of number of hours and years, right? Of course, you will not be a charter holder yet until you clear your level 3, but that doesn't stop you from going ahead and applying for a regular membership. But for the rest who have yet to achieve that 4,000 hours, I would encourage that you look at affiliate membership. All benefit remains same between the two class of membership, except for affiliate member, you will not have the voting rights and you will not have the right to use a designation yet. But once you complete the required hours of regular membership, you can always upgrade your affiliate membership to a regular membership at no additional cost. So do look into this different type of membership, and I'll say start your journey with us sooner rather than waiting to complete those hours as well. So come become a member, start exploring the resources that institute has to offer or the society has to offer. And then when it's time to become a charter holder, I think it's just a click away. And the application process, the last bit. No, I mean, the process is simple, just like how you registered for your CFA program, which was all online. Applying for your membership is also online. So you get into your account, you will see a membership tile in your CFA account page. And from there, you initiate your application process. When you click on the membership tile, you will be asked whether you are going to apply as a regular or an affiliate member. The screenshot over here talks about regular membership, but the application requirements are similar for both the membership types. And what do we ask? There are certain criteria like your personal information, education, work experience, etc. has to be filled in. You need to also select a society. And CFA Institute has over 160 societies globally. But when it comes to India, it's only one society. It's a single society in India. That's CFA Society India. So make sure you select the appropriate and correct society in the drop-down option and proceed further. Now let me spend a few minutes on the work experience criteria. And this is, I think, where most of you have queries around, right? Now, I've already talked about the 4,000 hours of experience in a 3 years period. Some of you might have queries now, how do I go about and calculate 4,000 hours? Well, the application has an inbuilt tool which will calculate that hours for you. You just need to enter your start date and end date of a particular job, and how many hours a week you would be invested in investment decision making, etc. Rest, this system or the application process will provide you that how many hours does job XYZ cover and how many hours are pending for a regular membership. So don't worry about calculating the hours manually. Just go ahead and begin your application and the system will help you out further. Now, what type of work experience qualifies? I mean, it can be a part-time, it can be a full-time, or it can be a remote work arrangement as well. So this is something we have tweaked a couple of years back. We are adjusting to the new normal right now. So if there are people who are working in a remote environment or part-time, we will consider that work environment, the work experience, sorry. And this can be at any given stage of your journey as a professional. It can be before you registered for a CFA program, or when you're going through the program, or after that. So all experience counts, provided it is relevant to investment decision making, right? So I've given a short description in front of you. That's the right hand top section on what constitutes a relevant investment decision making. And it's upon your best judgment. If you think it qualifies, I would definitely encourage that you just go ahead and initiate the application. But if you have doubts, we will try to address some of it today. If not, you can always continue to reach out to us post this session as well. All right, so this is the tool, this is the application process that I mentioned during, which will calculate the number of hours. So you enter your start date, end date, how many average hours a week that you are working, and what percentage of it is involved in investment decision making. So, and at the end of it, the system will calculate and tell you that this particular job constitutes how many hours. A little bit more on the work description itself. When you're going ahead and applying, there is a self-assessment tool available on our website, which is simple 10 question work experience self-assessment, which asks you whether you're doing XYZ in your daily role or not. And it's a yes, no answer. So it provides you some guidance. It might be helpful for some. The other guidance that we provide on the website as well is how do you write your work experience, right? If you just go ahead and write that you're doing a wealth management role in your application, that most likely will not get approved. Not might, most likely not. So we'll like to know more in detail what you do. So try to be as elaborate and as direct to relevant role or job that you are applying for, and that will help the reviewer to go through it quickly. And then references. So references I'll pick up a little later, but again, just pressing upon the job description. So what constitutes a best job description? As explained on your screen on the right hand side, it is a detailed understanding of the job role that you're doing currently and how does it qualify to investment decision making. So if you are detailed enough, that will help the reviewer to quickly go through and approve your application. We get a lot of questions sometimes. So, okay, I'm working in auditing, I'm working in accounting and taxation, I'm a relationship manager with a wealth firm. I mean, some of this we will not be able to guide you directly whether this is a relevant or not a relevant work experience. Of course, we have a lot of members who work in this field, in this space, but we will always need more details to understand whether your work experience is relevant or not. And just a caveat, I mean, both Mittal and me might not be the experts in this field on telling you each and every job, whether it qualifies or not. We will try our best to guide you. But yeah, let's go ahead and see uh, later on the Q&A if we can answer your specific questions. Moving on, beyond the work experience, I think this is the other area where a lot of you might have queries. You will need to provide us professional references as part of your application process. Now, we, we will require 3 professional references, but if one of the reference is a member of CFA Society India, like Mittal is a member of the society, then we need only 2 in total, right? So it's either 2 if one of them is a member of the local society, or 3 if you don't know anyone in the local society, that's fine. So anyone of your peers or bosses need not be a CFA program candidate or member. They can step in and become as a reference to you. And of course, if you still can't figure out if you're doing your own practice and you're not sure which reference you can bring in, we will still encourage that you reach out to the society. The society has a membership committee which will help address some of these requirements and guide you further. And some of the volunteers or members can themselves step in and become a reference for you as well. So that is the support that the society also offers. Once you finish your membership application, it comes to review to the CFA Institute, and we will review. If everything is clear, everything is as per what we're looking for, it is approved and you will get a mail to activate your membership. Now, activating your membership is a 3-step process. You sign the member agreement, you complete the professional conduct statement, and pay your annual membership dues. And once you've done these 3 steps, the activation is immediate. You are and you can use the CFA designation right away against your name. You will also get a confirmation email from CFA Institute stating the same. Just going back on the previous slide, make sure that you have your address correctly entered, your mailing address, because that's where your physical charter will be sent to you. And we've seen in the past instances where the addresses were incomplete and the charters were not delivered. So make sure that you have your address correctly updated on your profile. Now the membership dues. So CFA Institute and the society membership runs from 1st of July to 30th of June every year. And there's an annual membership dues that has to be paid year on year. The membership dues is $275 for CFA Institute. But for some countries, including India, that membership dues has been revised to $100 for the last few years. So if you're joining as a member for CFA Institute and you're in India, you pay us $100. Mittal will talk about the society dues as well later on. Now we'll say, I'm already in September, and why should I be paying for the full year? Well, you don't need to pay for the full years. You will only be requiring to pay for the remaining months when you're joining for the first time. So if you're joining in September, you're going to pay us for the 10 months remaining. So that constitutes about $83. So the dues are prorated when you join for the first time. But at the end of the year, we encourage that you complete your renewal, because having an active membership is a requirement to maintain your charter and right to use your designation against your name. So that renewal period starts from May to July every year. And that's the period when you can go in and complete your renewal. Your main charter will be delivered to you in 6 to 8 weeks once you have activated your membership. As I said earlier, just make sure that your address is correctly mentioned once you get the mail. And you will receive further emails from CFA Institute guiding you on the next steps and what are the benefits you can start using. So I encourage that you start using as soon as you get some of this benefit. I mentioned right at the start, there is something for everyone as part of your membership journey with us. So unless you yourself come and explore it, you might not really see the full value of it beyond just using the 3 designation. So highly encourage you to do that. And I'm happy to take questions later on during the session. Over to you, Mithil.
Okay. Thanks, Sachin. Thanks so much. If you allow me, maybe I can
let me
share my
stop sharing. Yeah.
All right. Just give me a minute. Can you see it? Can Vidhi, Sachin, can you guys confirm?
Yes, yes, it's there.
Okay, great. Thanks so much. So again, welcome everyone. My name is Mithil Parekh. I'm part of the CFA Society in India. I got my charter back in 2006, which is where the CFA as a course was still very nascent in India. We right now have been 16 years part of this group. I currently volunteer with the membership committee as the co-chair of the membership committee. But previously, I've also volunteered for the programming committee of the CFA Society. And before I begin, I just want to spend a couple of minutes on uh, what Sachin mentioned and what's the role of CFA Institute and what's the role of CFA Society in India. So ideally, if you a lot of time, because I myself used to get confused about what is the difference between the institute and the society, because we kind of run it very similarly with the CFA, and all of us kind of know CFA as the starting point. But the CFA Institute, which is based in US, has an office in India, is responsible for managing the curriculum, ensuring that students are getting properly evaluated, and so on. And together, they set up societies across multiple regions and countries. So Sachin mentioned that we have only one society in India. But there are countries, for example, US, I think it has multiple societies. So it has a CFA Society New York, CFA Society California, and so on. And in India, we run this differently because we very consciously has set up only one society. But at the same time, over the period, we have kind of expanded the scope of the society. We now have multiple chapters within the society. We have Indore, Ahmedabad, Pune, Bangalore, Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai, uh, Mumbai, obviously. So this is over the period. So when I joined CFA Society or CFA Institute, um, there was only one chapter. It was like 2006. Only Mumbai was the chapter that was there. I flew down to Mumbai for attending my charter ceremony um, uh, to receive the charter physically. But now we have grown so much in size in India as well, so that we kind of are having multiple chapters. We have senior leaders across all the cities who are driving the local CFA community in all those cities. Now, as a role of the society, what we do is we organize events. We partner with the CFA Institute a lot of times. Or most of the times, if not a lot of times, most of the time we partner with the CFA Institute. We provide a platform for our members, the society members and the institute members, to network amongst ourselves, and at the same time getting to know the other industry leaders, etc. CFA Society India is actually run as a non-profit organization. It has its own board, where, if you guys know, Navneet Munot, who is currently the CEO for HDFC AMC, was the chairman of the CFA Society India until recently. Right now, it's chaired by Rajendra Kalur. Before Navneet, we had our founding member of the CFA Society in India was Sunil Singhania. He is now the founder and the CEO of the Abacus Asset Management, and so on. So we have huge, highly respected individuals who are part of our profession, our business in India, who have been members, who have been volunteers, etc. So that's the overall background. The CFA Society is in itself, it's very small. So it's like 6 or 7 staff, and we have Priyanka, who's our CEO. But rest of the activities of the society are run by volunteers. I am a volunteer, for example, and we have close to 100 odd volunteers across multiple functions within the CFA Society. What these volunteers do, obviously we don't get paid for what we do, and that's not the intention. The intention is to allow the volunteers to have the networking opportunities. So we being so close, we get enough opportunities as volunteers to be networked, to specialize into our skills, I remember, a few years back, just before COVID, we were hosting Untitled Ceremony in Mumbai, close to around 400 odd participants. And I was actually hosting that event, and I never hosted an event in my life. My wife was like the kind of surprised how am I going to do it, but yet it came out well. Somebody who I know in the CFA Society in Mumbai. So we had Ashwath Damodaran who had come to India for one of our session, and uh, he was kind of was to be taken from his hotel to the venue. Uh, One volunteer got an opportunity to drive him through the city and take him to the venue. Now, if you are in Mumbai and if you know the traffic, half an hour, 45 minutes with Mr. Damodaran uh, in a car makes you realize what value you have received as a volunteer of the society. There are a lot of people who like to host events, and they kind of get opportunity to host, organize. I have somebody who's co-chair with me in the membership committee. He's not from the financial background. He's a CFA chartered holder, but he's kind of into the hospitality industry. He helps us with negotiating with the hotels and so on. So the spectrum of work that you get an opportunity to do as a volunteer is massive, and subject to your interest, your willingness to participate, etc. It's a platform that gives you the right networking of the people and right kind of a setup there. I'm going to move on to the slides. So essentially, we'll run it through very quickly because we want to keep this session interactive and take your questions. So I'm going to just quickly move to the slides. Some of the aspects of the slides have already been covered by Sachin, but let's just move on. So already gave you the introduction about the society. Affiliate membership is so Sachin mentioned that we have two aspects of the membership, regular and affiliate. So this is where, we find most people have questions about when I can become a regular member, or where I can become an affiliate member. So Sachin covered it already. The difference between the regular and affiliate member is, under the regular membership, you get the voting rights for the CFA Institute. Under affiliate, you do not get that. You cannot use your charter, CFA charter, unless you are a regular member. And three, affiliate membership as per the CFA Society rules can be applied as soon as you've cleared your level 1 exam. You do not need 4,000 hours of relevant work experience if you're an affiliate member. You can become a level 1 as soon as you clear your level 1 exams. You can take up the affiliate membership of the society. Everything else, all of the benefits that you get, like networking, volunteering, etc., are at par between the regular and the affiliate membership. There's no difference between the two. At the same time, there's no difference in the fees of the regular and affiliate membership. So Sachin already covered the CFA Institute fees. CFA Society fees is something which is over and above that you pay for the running the CFA, being part of the CFA Society. That fees is 3,000 rupees annually plus 18% of GST. We run a cycle where, if you renew because this is from June to May, if you renew your cycle if you renew your CFA Society India fees within a given time of 1st May to 15 July, we make it such that you get the CFA Society at 3,000 all inclusive. So you reduce the fees to 2,400 as early bird. And then you kind of, you get 18% GST or something. So you get 3,000 including GST. But if you are renewing the fees outside the cycle, it's kind of 3,000 rupees annually plus 18% of GST. The mode of payment, right? Until recently, there used to be just one payment. So at the time you are renewing CFA Institute membership, the CFA Society fees got included. and there's just one payment that was required to be done. Now, last couple of years, because the previous fees was quoted in dollars along the line with the CFA Institute, uh, we ran into certain questions from RBI and local regulators. So as a result, we have to change the process for which the way we collect the fees. So right now, when you renew a membership, you first pay the CFA Institute, and immediately you'll get an option to renew your CFA Society India fees. And once you pay that, you also become the CFA Society member. What we do as a CFA Society, I covered some of these events already. So we kind of, do a lot of events across not only Mumbai, but across the country now. As far as I know, even right now, while we speak, there's an event which is happening in Bangalore, which is the CFA Career Day Bangalore event. I was looking at our app earlier. There is a CFA Career Day happening in Indore this time. I think this is for the first time actually we are doing it at Indore, and on 1st of October. We have a lot of marquee events. So we do a corporate governance event in Pune. We do a value investor event in Delhi, and multiple events. I told you a fintech event in Bangalore, etc. So depending upon where we see our members are located, where we think that there will be right kind of talent, interest, we've kind of distributed our events accordingly. We've done a fixed income event in Chennai. So, and then you have India Wealth Management Conference, which happens in India, annual India Investment Conference, which is hosted by CFA Institute in Mumbai again. So multiple, I think as mentioned on the slide, we've kind of done 70 in-person and webinar events so far in 2022. All the events are hosted by society are free for its members. So whether on a virtual mode or on the physical mode, you are, as a member of the society, you are eligible to attend those events, and so on. And then you have the other benefits, right? So this is the part of the benefit of being a member of the society, is you get to know the local people who are driving the finance profession in India. So networking opportunity is invaluable. And I'm telling it out of my experience, because otherwise there's so many people in the finance world who I would never have an opportunity to meet and talk to in person. But then we also drive certain other benefits. So we tie up with CRISIL. I think it's on the subsequent page. Yeah. So we tie up with CRISIL for some executive benefit training programs and ICRA analytics. Sachin mentioned about some of the tie-ups that CFA Institute has. So if you go, once you become a CFA Institute member, you could go to the website and download the historical data for US companies from PECSET, from MSCI. There are quite a few options there available. So as a member of the society, you get all these additional benefits, but nothing is as comparable as to what you get as a part of the networking opportunity or the volunteering opportunity with the society. This is what I was talking earlier. So the felicitation ceremony, when I became the member, Mumbai was the only place where we hosted the felicitation ceremony. Now we do it at multiple places. For those of you who are getting your charter during next couple of months, will be entitled to attend the November to December felicitation ceremony, which we're still working out on the plans, etc. We typically do across multiple cities. You should also look out, if you're getting your charter, this is very popular, you should also look out for a front page name of yours on the mint paper. So we've done this for past few years, where we try to, all the new CFA charter holders, we kind of give out their names on the newspaper, and we try to purchase the print copies of those mint edition and try to send it over to you through courier, so that you could keep that as a memory for yourself for the rest of your life. This is something we do. We invite international guests if they are on the visit to India to attend the felicitation ceremonies and all. So the last felicitation ceremony that we did in Mumbai, we had a couple of board of directors from the CFA Institute. So Punita Kumar Sinha, she's the board of governors on the CFA Institute. She was there. The chairman of the CFA Institute was there. And more importantly, we also had Jayant Sinha. So Jayant Sinha is a minister in our cabinet. He was there as one of the speaker on that event. Yeah, and how to become a volunteer. So we host separate similar webinars where we, and give people to ask volunteering questions. But if you have questions today, you could pose it here. We kind of, the best way is to reach out to the CFA Society, show your interest, and then we have a separate team who onboards the volunteers for us. So they may be speaking to you, they'll ask you for area of interest, and kind of, make you get in touch with the right kind of people. How the volunteering is organized. So each board of director of the CFA Society is responsible for one volunteering aspect. So right now, for example, Bihari Lal Deora, call him BD, he is the board of director in charge of membership committee. There is somebody who's in charge of programming committee, somebody who's in charge of research challenge, and so on. So each board of director is kind of driving one vertical within that. And under that board of directors, then you have chairs of the committees, and then you have volunteers who are kind of, driving the process. This is all we covered. The other thing, yeah, so as a society, we work very, very hard with the help of society staff, with the Omkar and Priyanka and everybody, but also with the volunteers. We work so hard to ensure that, we get the recognition of the work that we do. So last couple of years, so this is the CFA Institute running their evaluation of all the 160 odd CFA societies globally. Our society stood out on multiple aspects. So impact and innovation. In APAC, we got the prize along with the other global societies. There's one more, I think. That's gone. There's one more where we got recognized by the CFA Institute for the work that the society does. Technically, we are far too ahead compared to our peers, because CFA Society India has an application on both iStore and Play Store, where App Store and Play Store, where you could go and download. It gives you the upcoming events, conferences, past blogs, newsletters, access very quickly and very handy for you to get through it. Yeah, I'm going to stop here. We've taken a lot of time. Given we started 10 minutes late, we possibly want to, give enough time for Q&A. But I don't know how you want to host the Q&A here. Do we have questions already?
Yes, we have questions already. Some maybe Sachin can answer, and requesting anybody who wants to ask questions live, please raise your hand and we will allow you to speak and ask it live. Open your videos and please go ahead. So one of the question is for Sachin from Tushar Jain. He says that I have a question regarding the inclusion of CA art clerkship in the 4,000 hours work experience.
All right. Thanks, Vidhi. So Tushar, yeah, I went through your question and thought it will be best to respond it to you directly. So kind of experience that you have in your articleship, we will consider it if it is relevant to investment decision making, right? So that is something you need to analyze. So whatever work you're doing as part of articleship.
Sorry to interpret into it, but the articleship is not an permanent employment. It's more like a principal and agency contract between you and your principal, right? You are not an employee of the CA firm with which you are doing articleship. So my guess is, even though you are doing relevant work, the CFA Institute might require you a full-time employment of the organization, right?
Yeah, and you're correct. Sorry, Mithil. Yeah, you're correct. We be it part-time, full-time, wherever you're working, it has to be you have to be on a permanent contract with that employee, right? It cannot be as Mithil described. So articleship will be only considered if it's that relation. But you're right, Mithil. But we'll have to still raise this across to the institute on how we evaluate this. So there's a membership team which goes through all this requirements. So we'll be happy to look into your query and maybe get back to you. But per se, primarily, we think it may not qualify directly. So there's some nuance to it.
Sir, to the best of my knowledge, hi, this is Tusharjan. To the best of my knowledge, the CA articleship is done under a deed and we are considered as employees of the firm.
Okay, because I've been through it myself 20 years back, and at least back then it used to be a principal and agent contract. You don't have an employment contract with the CA firm. But Tushar, best is you drop us an email and we can get it validated through our experts.
Sure, Mithil. Thank you.
Thanks, Tushar. I think we have few questions. Whether you want to check on this?
Yes. So one question is whether professional references are required from CFA members only, or non-CFA members would also work.
Let me take that. So in my presentation, I talked about the reference requirement. So if you do not know anyone who's a CFA program member, that's fine. A non-CFA member can act as a reference. But in that case, you will have to give us 3 professional references if none of your reference is a member of the local society. So all kind of work experience is fine. Non-members, non-CFA members as well. And they have to be a professional member. Just caveat, we won't look into a family member or a friend's reference when you're applying.
Shana Kazi, you may ask your question next, please.
Thanks, Kriti. Thanks, everyone, for providing the guidance. Well, I have a couple of questions. One is that do we need to submit any sort of experience letter from the company for this required qualified experience? Or just, the description of the work is sufficient?
No, we don't require anything from your company. It's ideally because you are self-declaring your experience and your professional references are going to, evaluate that or at least give some consideration to it. So you don't need anything from your employer in writing.
Right. And the next question that I am having right now is, I have already appeared for third level examination and I'm awaiting the result. Now, my question is that am I able to register for the regular membership and, once the results are out, and if my experience is already qualified and I'm, let's say, hopefully clear the third level examination as well, so I'm immediately, eligible for the charter? Or do I need to wait till I clear the third level exam?
Let me take that, Mithil. So you can apply right away, Shana. You don't need to wait for your level 3 results. If you have the required experience for a regular membership, you can go ahead and apply right away. And once you get your results and you've cleared your level 3 exams, you then directly go ahead and become a charter holder.
Thanks. And my last question is about changing the society. So let's say maybe I get the opportunity abroad, and if I want to change the society over there, do we have any mechanism for that?
Yeah, yes, you can. So at any given point of time, you can switch a society if you're moving out, right? You can replace India society with any other society in that particular city or country wherever you are transitioning. So that is an option available.
Great. Thanks. That's all from my end.
Thanks, Sana.
Jaspreet, you can go next, please.
Hi, hi, Mithil. Hi, sir. So I have a basic question that for the person who are already experienced and the requirement of 4,000 work hours is there. So if we have to input the number of hours, for example, let's say we are working as a professional for 45 hours per week. So we and there are two options. Like we need to enter the specific number of hours that we are working in that particular role. But I am confused because whenever we are doing a particular role, so we are working dedicatedly for that. So that means if I am entering 45 hours per week, that the entire duration is related to that particular work, right? Or we need to subtract out some other some work hours that we are not productive. Is that case? Is that the case?
Okay. Again, let me take that. So you have to take the best judgment. If you think 100% of your working hour is dedicated to investment decision work, you can go in and mention that, right? And that's absolutely fine. But if you think about 10-20% of your time, you might not be able to quantify it exactly. But if you think about 10% of their time is not investment decision, you can accordingly put an approximate amount. So in 80% or 90% of your time is relevant to investment decision making. So that's fine.
And another question is related to the work experience. For example, right now I'm working in the supervision and in the surveillance domain. It's not directly investment decision, but the person who are doing the investment decisions, we are monitoring them. So will that role also qualify for the work experience?
I can take that, Sachin. So, and I see there are similar other questions on the chat box. But to give you an idea, so the investment decision process can be very wide. We don't really expect somebody who is making a buy and sell decision, because there are going to be very few people who eventually do it, right? And it says direct or indirectly the investment decision process. And I have seen, because I myself work in an environment where I do not make the investment decision process, but I support activities that leads up to investment decision. You can think of people who are doing credit surveillance. We can think of people who are doing, like, finance monitoring or etc., where they are directly or indirectly supporting the investment decision process. That's included. The best case is, when in doubt, you should be either reading out the guidelines, which is available on the CFA Institute website, or reach out to us at the membership society, and we could, I review it ourselves, or we can pass it down to the relevant members or people in your organization to help you out the guide, whether it's considered or not considered. If you remember, when Sachin was presenting the slide, it also included the teachers who are in the investment decision process. So it's a very wide concept. You don't expect a professor at a finance college to make an investment decision, but they are eligible to be called as a CFA charter. So.
Okay. Thank you.
Mithil, I think I'll pass on one more question from the chat window to you. I think this is around audit work experience.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll just read out to you, and maybe you can take, or you've seen that
I
query.
saw that
Okay.
question. Yes.
Yeah.
So the audit work experience, sometimes it's very, very broad, right? When you're dealing with clients, you are the CA firms in India. They're also providing the consultancy services, valuation expertise, etc. Now, simply, if you ask me, audit work or working for an audit firm, it may be difficult. It all depends upon the projects that you've worked for your clients or the activities that you've taken. And hence, the best is, if you give us your CV, if you give us your description of work, we can have it reviewed and then be able to precisely. It's not a clear cut. At the same time, as I mentioned already, the scope is very wide. You don't want only the portfolio managers to be the part of the CFA Institute or the CFA Society, because if you narrow it down to investment decision, It may typically be the fund managers or the research analysts who are included, but this we try to include the scope where people who are indirectly also supporting the such activities are eligible to. Vidhi, over to you if we have questions.
Akshay, you can ask your questions, please.
Hi, first of all, I would like to thank the society for this very informative webinar. I was really looking forward to getting all of these questions answered. So thank you for that. Secondly, again, I would again eat your brains a little on the similar questions that everybody is asking, right, around the work experience. So I have been a part of the business valuations team, but that mostly surrounds financial reporting, business valuation, right? The purchase price allocations or the equity valuations for investments that have been done by private companies. So just wanted to understand, would this be a relevant work experience? Thank you.
Okay, given my long standing, I can say yes, it would be. But again, I'll add with the caveat that it's easier if you give us your CV to go through and have it reviewed once. But the application process is you yourself. Once you start the application process, you yourself have to qualify the activities that you do. CFA Institute and the CFA Society both independently reviews those feedback that you provide. You have to give 2 or 3 references who are also, acknowledging the fact that the comments that you have provided are true, or there's no reason for them to deny a membership to you. And then the application gets processed that Sachin had presented earlier. In the valuation group, because I know a lot of people in my firm who are part of the equity valuation group are also the CFA charter holders as well. So I don't think that it involves a lot of financial concepts, right? It's not about maybe you're not making an investment decision, but you're directly doing things which lead to the investment decision for your firm.
And I'll just to add on to your point, Mithil. Sorry, Akshay. Sorry, who was the question last? Was it?
Akshay.
Akshay.
Yeah.
Akshay, yes.
Did we answer it?
Yes, you did. I got.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm just scrolling down through the chat window, Mithil, and I think we are getting a lot of similar type of queries. And you have provided sufficient clarifications, I believe, for some of it. And I mean, it need not be direct. Whatever work you're doing, it need not be directly impacting investment, but indirectly, if you're doing some work and it is helping in an investment decision making, that will qualify. I think you at your end, you are the best judge on how do you describe your work experience. But if there are confusion, as Mithil has guided, please write to the society email ID. I think Vidhi will put it on the chat box over here. And we will encourage you to share a little bit more detail with the society's membership committee can look into it and happily answer as well. Vidhi, we have time to take a few more questions, right? We've started a bit late. Yeah.
Yes. So, Rishabh Kataria, you may ask a question now. Yes, thank you.
Hello.
Yeah, you're audible. Please go
Yeah,
ahead.
Rishabh.
Yeah. Actually, I just wanted to confirm, like, whether the investment decision-making process, does it involve internal decisions as well? Like maybe it may be capital budgeting decisions of an internal company as well.
It should be, Rishabh, right? So the investment decision, the best is, go to the CFA Institute website and read what gets included, because they have provided a very strong or the relevant comments there. But my guess, Rishabh, is it would be because the project financing, or if you're doing things like if you're in the CFO world and you are doing the investment decisions for firm, not as a portfolio manager decision, but you're making investment decisions to set up a factory or a plant or things like that. At least my view from far is it should be considered. But the best is we refer to the guidelines, and maybe when in doubt, maybe ask questions to the membership committee or the society team.
Yeah, Rishabh, there is a self-help tool, as Mithal was just highlighting, going to the website. So it will ask you basic 10 questions on what kind of work we look at. So that will provide you some guidance as well. So the self-assessment tool is on the membership page of CFA Institute website. So just check that out as well.
Okay. Thanks, Sachin. Thanks, Mithal.
Vidhi, I'll just take one question from the chat window live. This is from George. So he's asking, do we have to pay for membership fee before the work experience is verified? And the answer is no. You pay the membership fee only once your membership application has been approved and you're going in and activating your membership. So for applications, there is no fee charged on that. You only pay once it's you're activating your membership. The follow-up question is that also, is there any cool down period before I can apply again for the membership in case it's not accepted? So in scenarios when your membership application is not clear, we will not reject it right away. We'll still provide you a chance to clarify. So the membership team will reach out to you for more details. And if that the guidance is still not helpful, they will go ahead and reject. But that doesn't stop you from going ahead and applying it at the earliest. There's no cool down period for that. But if your first application is not approved and you've been provided time to clarify on the work experience that you submitted, and ideally that means we will be looking for some additional work experience which you're not provided in that. So there's no cool down period per se. You can apply even if you're rejected. If your membership application is rejected for any reason, that doesn't hold against you. You can apply back at any given point of time as well, right? I hope that question is answered. Yeah. Vidhi, back to you.
Yes, Surabhi, you can ask your question, please.
Yeah, hi team. Thank you for providing this opportunity. Actually, my question is that the work experience required is for the 4,000 hours and the minimum 3 years. So are both these conditions to be satisfied? Like I have 4,000 years of 4,000 hours of experience in 2 years. So will that qualify?
No, it won't qualify, Subi. Both the criteria has to be fulfilled. It has to be a minimum 3 years and 4,000 hours. So both has to be fulfilled.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So Surbi, while you wait to complete that 1 year, I would encourage. You can explore affiliate membership in the meanwhile, and then subsequently 1 year down the line, just go ahead and upgrade your membership to regular if you think that will be helpful to you.
Yeah, okay. So like to just ensure that I'm understanding it correctly. So what we require is that total 3 years of work experience, out of which at least 4,000 should be in like investment support decisions making. Is
Correct.
it?
That's right. So both criteria, your work experience of 4,000 hours, as you said, some of you might achieve that number in a shorter period, in 2 years time. But you need to have the second criteria also fulfilled. It has to be a minimum 3 years period for those 4,000 hours to be complete.
Okay, okay. Got it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Kisle, you may ask your question, please. You're there?
Kisle? While he fixes his audio, there was a question on the chat about the volunteering opportunity, saying can somebody be a volunteer without taking the membership of the CFA Institute or the CFA Society? The answer is, that this is a volunteer-driven organization, and the primary reason we have this organization is to help our members as the beneficiaries of the volunteering opportunity. we really require you to be the member of the institute and the society to be part of the volunteer of the society, CFA Society.
Am I audible now?
We can hear you now. Please go ahead.
Thanks for the opportunity. So this 36 months, minimum 36 months of experience can be over the past 4.5 years. Like there could be periods wherein the involvement was not in direct investment decision making or indirect, maybe something unrelated, but cumulatively 36 months have been achieved and 4,000 hours in the last 4 years. Is that correct?
Yeah. Sorry, Mital, I'll take it. Yeah, I think you're right. So what's the name? I'm missing your name.
Kisle.
Yeah. So your work experience, 4,000 hours, can be will be counted through your professional journey, right? And direct, indirect, and any of your job roles will be considered. So if you're saying your job 1 had relevant work experience, a job 2 might not have, your job 3 had, those will be picked up. Sorry, Kisle, am I answering your question right?
Yes, absolutely. You answered it perfectly. Thanks so much.
Yeah,
I have one more.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, please.
Yeah. So to be a volunteer, we have to be so just being an affiliate member of the institute and a member of the society, we can be a volunteer even today, even though a certain level of CFA is not yet completed. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Freddy, I'll quickly take one question from the chat window. This is similar to what Kisle just asked. So does the 36 months start when you register for level 1 and after passing level 1 exam, or after completing your undergrad? So 36 months starts as soon as you start your professional journey, maybe before you started for a CFA program as well. So we will consider end-to-end, not necessarily when you are just as a candidate with us. Vidhi, over to you. If you have more questions, I mean, we have seen a lot of questions still coming through. Anything you want us to pick up?
Yeah, Akshay, you may ask your question, please.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for the opportunity. So I want to ask, I have actually worked in tech domain as well as in an investment bank. So my role has been in bond issuances, support decisions, and I've been a business analyst also earlier, a software developer. I have total experience of 6 years. So bond issuances, I can say that this is totally related. But yeah, I'm not sure about whether my software engineering journey, then to business analyst and supporting business decisions count as a relevant work ex or not.
Again, actually, we recommend all of you to review the guidelines and see. Prima facie, it may sound that your bond analyst experience would be more relevant to the CFA guidelines. It all depends on your prior experience at the software company. It all depends, but I mean, we possibly not in the best position to give you a verbal yes or no answer here. It's best that we have your CV, or we have your you apply through the psych normal process and then get it reviewed, because typically, if you think about a business analyst in a software firm,
in a banking firm,
banking software firm. Okay.
No, it's totally a bank. It's a London-based bank.
Okay, but and hence I don't want to answer yes or no here.
Correct.
Honestly, it could be misinterpreted both ways. So the best is to have it in writing and see.
Sure.
So yeah, Mithil, sorry, just stepping in all that. So guidance to everyone, all of you. I mean, we've seen a lot of similar type of questions. Don't hesitate to just go ahead and apply, right? Whatever you think may be relevant or may not be relevant, just go in and apply with whatever details you have right now. Go through the self-assessments on the website, reach out to the society, but don't hold back to apply just because you think this may or may not be relevant. You will be provided guidance when you apply. Even if you are rejected, that doesn't mean that we will not review your application going forwards. So there's nothing against you. We will not charge you for your applications as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
So don't hold back here on
Yeah,
this.
you pay at the end only when your membership is approved, right? Unlike many other places, you don't pay upfront here. Only when your application is reviewed, your work experience is verified, and then only you pay the membership. So when in doubt, read what's available on the website, and maybe talk to your colleagues, friends, reach out to membership society, or just apply on the CFA portal, and then somebody more formally who's more close to making decisions for the membership are going to review them. So
Got it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Vidhi, I think you've requested me to take one question. This is from Ashish Shetty. I work in Kuwait. Can I apply for CFA India societies? If so, then how will it be evaluated? So Ashish, the guidance will be you should ideally pick up the society where you're currently based, right? If you're in Kuwait, ideally pick up a society in Kuwait or that particular city or country. I mean, it will be more helpful for you as a member of that local body wherever you are based. You'll be able to network with professionals over there. But if you have plans to come back to in India in the immediate future, then you can go ahead and select the India Society as well. That's fine. But our primary guidance is pick up a society where you're currently based and working. Vidhi, over to you. I think we still have a lot of questions. How much time do you think we have? I mean, we can come back to some of these questions later on and respond directly.
Most of the questions I think we have directly or indirectly answered while addressing the other questions.
Yes,
about your work experience. I see there's somebody who's asking about I'm working at a prime brokerage unit. My experience considered relevant. I would think yes, but again, right way is to get it verified through the right people who are reviewing this. There's a question: can we become regular member if you meet the work X requirement but not cleared the CFA level 3? I think Sachin already answered that.
Correct. Yeah.
Answer is yes, you can become that. Vidhi, are you spotting any questions which have not been answered?
Mithil, I'll just take one question over here. Do we need to separately apply for CFA Institute and CFA Society India membership? So the application process is you select a society or wherever you're based. So if you're in India, you select CFA Society India in the application process. Once your membership is approved, it is approved for both the organization, CFA Institute and CFA Society India. Mithil provided you a guidance on how do you apply and not apply, how do you become a member of CFA Society India. So once you go ahead and activate your CFA Institute membership, at the end of the process, you will be guided to go ahead and complete your joining of CFA Society India as well. And this is something I will guide everyone to take this opportunity. Don't drop out on that last stage where you need to go in and complete the society membership as well. I mean, the benefits is immense. If you start exploring, if you start leveraging the network, Mithil did point out, I mean, he works with a global bank, right? He would have not interacted with many finance professionals who are working in completely different domain, but within investment management. The likes and the opportunity to say, to interact with a Navneet Munot or Sunil Singhania, only this network can provide. So I encourage that you go in and complete that process at the end of it, go in and join the society as well. It's a simple process, but if you get stuck anywhere, Vidhi has already provided you the society membership ID and she will guide you quickly on that part as well. Vidhi, over to you.
Yes. Thank you everybody for joining. And in case you have more questions, I've already shared our email ID in the chat box. Any questions, please write to us and we will get back to you. And the presentations, as many of you requested, will be shared next week. So you have any questions, please write to us. And thank you so much for joining our webinar today on our Saturday morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.